Alright, if you can't tell by now, I am a professional eater. Okay, no one pays me to eat, but I know a great meal when I taste one. I enjoy my full-time job in tech, but when I'm not working, you can expect to find me eating something. I know that so many of you watched my last video about Nairobi, Kenyan sleeping on Diani, and that you've all heeded my message and have begun promoting Diani to all your friends abroad. Chances are you're likely promoting Diani Beach to the world at this very moment. So if you currently don't live in Diani, you need to plan on visiting very soon. This video is for you. Here are my favorite eateries in Diani Beach. My food Bible. Yes, I finally get to talk about food. Be sure to save and share this video with folks thinking of Kenya or with folks who ought to be thinking of Kenya. After spending 3 months of non-stop eating, mostly in Diani, I was able to separate the fancy decor from the quality of the food served. I would let you all in on the places I really enjoyed and kept going back to over and over because they nailed it each and every time. This is the point where you want to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. The categories are breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, drinks, coffee, and overall favorite hangout. The breakfast, lunch, and dinner categories are limited to my top 2 spots each. All other categories will be limited to my top spot. Please note that the price of individual dishes or fancy decor were not a factor in my final rating. I am simply calling out the spots that delighted me. In each case, I visited the establishment at least twice to confirm that it wasn't a fluke. Let's begin with breakfast. My favorite top 2 spots are number 1, Kokkos. There is not a better breakfast place in Diani. This is a very safe choice because I know that most visitors to Diani will enjoy this spot. It has a touristy feel to it and the ambiance screams breakfast. I fluctuated between ham and egg and cheese croissant on a glazed croissant and the Eggs Benedict, which was packed with mushrooms and spinach to bring out that flavor. If I came in from a long morning of snorkeling, it was the ham, egg, and cheese on a croissant. Delicious. Else, I opted for the delicate but delicious Eggs Benedict, and I washed it all down with a double vanilla latte. I normally love iced coffee, but in the late summer, I got some food poisoning. So I wanted to play it safe this time by avoiding iced drinks. Even though I'm Kenyan now, I'm still adjusting. Their fruit bowl with yummy yogurt is a great choice to share as a side dish when having breakfast with 2 or more. If you're brave enough to have the iced coffee, ask for the fat metal straw. It doesn't make it taste any better, but it looks really cool. Guys, that was the best stuffed croissant, egg, ham, and cheese sandwich I've had in Diani, so check it out at Kokkos. Number 2, Java House. Don't come at me about Java House being a regular chain restaurant. Again, this is about the places that I found most enjoyable and that never disappointed me. Yes, this spot represents great karma for me, but it's truly about the food. As with Kokkos, I opted for the egg and cheese on a croissant, but each time at Java House, I added sausage to it, which they nailed every time. My favorite side was the giant beef samosa with herbs and onions, which was always bursting with flavor. It appears to be made with very little oil, making it my second favorite samosa in Diani. After having the giant stuffed croissant with chips on the side, this particular samosa made me feel like I was making a healthy choice. It was as though my brain blocked that it was a fried pastry. Kokkos is clearly the breakfast choice for most, and rightfully so, but Java House is conveniently located, reasonably priced, served my go-to breakfast item, and made the second best samosa in Diani. All right. You taste those greens, those onions. This is packed with flavor. It's delicious. Let's move to my top 2 lunch spots. Number 1, Nomads Beach Restaurant and Bar. This should be on everyone's list for lunch. There are many folks who would eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner there, but given all the choices of restaurants, Nomads was only able to get my attention for lunch. And folks, this is an amazing restaurant. The gourmet burger was absolutely delicious. They blended it nicely with sauteed onions, tomato, and lettuce, but the secret appeared to be pulling it all together with some kind of cocktail sauce. If that wasn't enough, their curry beef samosas were the best samosas in Diani. I happen to love Indian dishes, so curry is my friend. I wasn't expecting to stumble on the best samosa in Diani, but when I bit into that beef samosa, the flavor hit me and it traveled to my bones. It was delicious. I know that some folks might not want a burger for a meal, but you cannot pass on these samosas. Whenever I felt like being the big boy that I am, I would also add the calamari as an additional side dish. Here's a miss for me at Nomads. The pesto pasta was a personal disappointment. I love pesto, but in this case, it overwhelmed the pasta. If you do order it, be sure to tell them to go light on the pesto. Also, can we start a petition to have them add chicken as an option? A chicken pesto pasta would be a delight. I got around it by ordering the pesto dish and then a side of chicken and mixing them myself. But for whatever reason, they just couldn't pull it off. I believe the waiter said it was impossible. However, none of this takes away from Nomads being my #1 lunch spot. Number 2, salty squid. I can't say enough about the honey glazed chicken salad. I'm still having dreams about it. Look at me. Do I look like someone who gets excited about salad? Well, Salty Squid's honey glazed chicken salad delivers. Its freshness surprised me. So if you want a healthy choice, this salad works. However, the rest of you will want to go there for the seafood. I defaulted to the ahi tuna. If you love tuna, this meal is for you because there was a lot of it. I feel as though the tuna was caught just in time to be served to me. It doesn't get any fresher than that, folks. Here's a miss, and it has nothing to do with the food or the restaurant. He's carrying the guy's bags, really? Suddenly their arms don't work. Dinner. #1 dinner spot, African Oasis. This might be controversial to many because a #1 dinner review is a coveted spot, but I can't be swayed by external factors when it comes to food. Remember, I'm a professional eater. This is not a high-end restaurant by any means, but I enjoyed everything about African Oasis every time I visited. Their pasta bolognese and chicken Alfredo dishes were absolute winners. Okay, now I'm getting hungry. Drooling thinking about it. They serve the best garlic fries and excellent calamari. Can we talk about the music on weekend nights? Can we talk about the dancing? Can we talk about the coolest people in Diani hanging out there? This spot attracts locals as well, which is likely why I enjoy it as much as I do. Here is a miss for me. Their use of salt was way too generous. I had to alert my waiter to that fact and was sure to mention it every time I ordered. I suggest that you do the same so that you get it right on your first meal. All right, we're in African Oasis on Diani Beach. This is Alfredo chicken with broccoli. So we're gonna try that right now. Here it is. That's what it looks like. This is one of the best pasta dishes I've had in Diani Beach. You gotta try it. Amazing. All right, we got calamari and chips. So let's have some of the calamari right here. This is delicious. It's light and crispy, and the calamari, it's not chewy at all, so this is excellent. I have a chip. Next is the pasta bolognese. Right here, it looks like it has some carrots in it. I'm gonna try this. Give it a good twirl.
delicious. Yes, fresh Parmesan on it. Amazing. African Oasis's garlic chips are some of the best French fries I've had in Diani. Right here, look at that. Amazing. Can I have that? It's so garlicky and delicious. You gotta try it.
Number 2, Apero. I showed up to Apero with lasagna on the brain. Yes, I do that. Without seeing a menu, I often have in mind what I want to order. So it's pleasant to see what I'm in the mood for represented on the menu. I saw that they had beef lasagna and I immediately ordered it. When it arrived, my favorite server and friend Mo told me that there was an error and that it was vegetable lasagna. Look at me. Do I look like I want vegetable lasagna? I didn't want to be a pain to my dinner guests, so I elected to stay with a veggie dish. Well folks, it turned out to be the best lasagna I have ever had in my life. Who knew? Now you cannot keep me from ordering their veggie lasagna. Okay, since my mother is watching, let's just say my mother's lasagna is the best and Apero comes second to that. I have yet to order their beef lasagna for fear that it would not measure up to the vegetable one. Talk about being up for new experiences. They are often filled with pleasant surprises. Honorable mention is their pasta bolognese.
Vegetable lasagna. All right, it might be a little hot. Let's take a little piece. Oh, delicioso.
I had made it my mission to find the best calamari in Diani, and I found it at Apero. The calamari is not breaded and it has herbs on it. It was phenomenal. Best calamari in Diani, hands down.
Okay, let me try the calamari. It's got these spices on it. Oh. Oh, that's good. Holy shit. That's some good calamari. This is definitely a contender for best calamari in Diani. Right there. Delicious. You don't even need the bread. It's so good. Some lemon on it. It burns your throat because of the spices. Say your name.
Mo.
Mo. You gotta come visit.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Be sure to ask for Mo and tell her that Richard sent you. Desserts. Number 1, salty squid. To the surprise of many, I don't really have a sweet tooth. I indulge from time to time, but I would rather have fries over dessert. I, however, am always willing to explore something new. And did I hit the jackpot with salty squid? There's this dessert called banoffee pot. I've never heard of it before. I asked the waiter what it was as I read it from the menu. I figured anything with condensed milk can't be bad. It turned out to be the best dessert I've experienced in all of Diani. I will even venture to say it was the best dessert I've had in all of Kenya and all of Africa. I've only been to Kenya, but you get the idea. The table next to me saw my reaction and they asked what I ordered and proceeded to order the same thing. It's the real reason I'm flying back to Kenya. That's how good it was. This dessert is a biscuit base with condensed milk, bananas, and whipped cream. Who knew such a combo would elicit such a toe-curling experience?
Look at that. This makes me angry. It's so good. It's banana and a crust at the bottom, a little whipped cream at top, and some caramel. Wow. That's where I am with my dessert. So those crumble at the bottom, condensed milk and caramel, bananas, and then, what is it, like whipped cream or something? Whipped cream on top. This is the best dessert I've had in Diani Beach. Hands down. I might have to come back just for this. Delicious.
Number 2, Kokkos. This normally would have been my #1 dessert place because of the assortment of desserts on display. However, I just couldn't ignore my experience with salty squid. Remember, these are my favorites. I expect that Kokkos will satisfy most dessert lovers, so I would be remiss not to include it. I, however, was partial to Kokkos carrot cake, which was very flavorful and moist. Be sure to add Kokkos to your list for dessert. It is not uncommon to see folks only showing up to Kokkos for coffee and cake. Drinks. Apero, hands down, is one of the best spots to grab a drink with friends. When I look for places to drink, it's all about the vibe. Apero is frequented by a great international mix of characters, which adds to its flair. This is why it is likely such a popular dinner and bar location. I'm impressed that there's always a steady flow of clients. I don't know about you, but I don't like to drink alone. Coffee. I love a good cup of coffee, so I don't throw around my preference award lately, but Havana can brew a mean cup of coffee. They have this brick oven for churning up pizza and other great food, so I considered this a lunch and dinner spot, but by chance, I ordered coffee, as it was across from the souvenir shop I was visiting. Man, their brewed coffee is off the hook. Apparently, they feature a special type of espresso bean. I have to say, every sip was a perfect moment. Whenever I was out and about and needed a pick-me-up, I would stop by at Havana for a cup of coffee. Fun fact, I found out that they serve dinner later than any other spot in Diani. So when pressed for a late dinner, you might want to seek them out. My favorite hangout? I'm talking the coast. So what better thing to do than to chill at a spot on the beach? Chillspot is the perfect place to just unwind and have a drink with friends. Feel free to show up at lunchtime and stay until dark. I love a place that is welcoming with no airs. I didn't go there for the food or the drinks. I frequented there for the chill vibe. Sure, I love their grilled chicken and vegetables on chapati and their coconut curry prawns. But it wasn't unusual for them to run out of food. The one thing that they had in abundance though was their chilled vibe. I was convinced that whenever I ordered food, they would run out and order it from someplace else because it always took at least 45 minutes, no matter how simple my food order was. Grab a drink, grab a seat, and just chill. Cheers to Chillspot. I know that this is all about Diani, but all this talk about food got me longing for the best burger on the entire Kenyan coast. It can be found at the Tamarind restaurant in Mombasa. So when you're in Diani and you're fine with a 60-minute drive up the coast, including the ferry, to experience heaven in a burger, then I highly recommend the Tamarind restaurant. This burger hit all of my taste buds really hard and elicited a sense of euphoria. Have a look.
Alright guys, we're at Tamarind Hotel. This is the fully loaded burger. As you can see, it's fully loaded. Ooh, look at that. Yo, this is heavy, but I'm gonna eat it all. Couldn't even get the burger bite. And bacon, pepper, and mushroom, and cheese, and lettuce, and cucumber, and tomato, and cheese, and cheese. This is really good. I'm gonna need a nap after this. Okay, guys, this one was hard, but I'm doing it. Fully loaded burger. I would get this again. It's really good. Mushroom with the cheese, the grilled veggies. Excellent.
I was a guest staying in one of the units, but I'm sure the restaurant is open to the public. Just be sure to call ahead to make sure there are no restrictions. Here are some other restaurants that didn't make my top 2 in any category for their food, but you might like them because they're all worth the visit. Funky Monkey, it's a hip restaurant. They had an excellent watermelon rosemary margarita. Leonardo's, if you're an Italian food lover, you'll likely enjoy this spot. Asha, great location, right on the beach. I particularly love this gorgeous boutique hotel. There are very few rooms, but I intend on booking a night or 2 when I return. Ali Barbour's Cave. Dinner in a cave underneath the stars. It's a special experience that everyone should do at least once. It will surely impress your guests. But be sure to call ahead for reservations. Tiki Bar. You haven't lived until you've downed your very first giant fishbowl. Be sure to ask the bartender to be very generous with the alcohol. It doesn't hurt to tip ahead of time to ensure that happens. And have a tuk-tuk on standby to take you home safely. Estuary, Beach Party Central. Stay plugged in to know when Estuary is going to host their next beach party. Also note that there is half off pizza on Fridays. Baobab Resort. If you like all-inclusive spots and traveling with kids, you might want to check out this spot. Even if you're not staying there, you may purchase an all-inclusive package for the day. Okay guys, I didn't eat out every day. I did grocery shopping from time to time. Whenever I did, my go-to supermarket was Carrefour. My staple items were chapati, endless supply of them. Rotisserie chicken, made fresh daily. Chicken spring rolls, oh, yes. Beef samosas. They're vanilla coconut biscuits with a hint of chocolate. They're about this big, delicious. It's very cheap and very heavy and led to about 10 extra pounds of weight around my waistline. Stay away from them. You've been warned. Boxed wine, Caprice Dry White. I couldn't go out every night, of course, so I made sure to stock my fridge with this boxed wine. The very first time boxed wine was recommended at a restaurant, I said no thanks and opted for the bottled wine. The next day, I saw it at Carrefour and I bought a couple boxes just to try it, and the rest is history. I stocked my fridge, especially when family came to visit. It made for a great companion drink while hanging out by the pool in the evening. That's my list, folks. My official food Bible for Diani visitors. I strongly recommend that you save this video and pull it out whenever you or someone you know is interested in visiting Diani, or when you wish to entice them to visit Diani. If you haven't already, check out my recent video promoting the Kenyan coast as an enticing gateway to Kenya. Enjoy it and share it.